Call Chris Tremain.
Mr Speaker, the John Key opening address, Mr Speaker, was a jobs machine. A jobs factory, a machine that will create jobs throughout this country. The Honourable Ruth Dyson stood up, Mr Speaker, in her speech and said that there were no jobs planned. This is absolute rubbish and shows the distinct difference between this side of the House and that side of the House. You see, Mr Speaker, on this side of the House, we know that businesses create jobs. On that side of the House, they think that it's the government, and it's only the government. Now, this is absolutely crazy. They want programs, but it's actually businesses. They quote Australia and the jobs that are being created over there. Are they coming out of government programs? No way. It's because that economy is growing. It's because businesses employ people. I mean, the only small thing I'd give that side of the House is that they did create some jobs through the bureaucracy over the last sort of 9 years, where they lifted it by 11,000 jobs. But look, the reality, in any economy, doesn't matter how big or small it is, it's businesses that create jobs. And so you need a plan that gets out there and grows the economy and makes it easier for businesses to go. And I'm going to talk through this jobs plan, this jobs machine that John Key outlined, not just some whimsical small plan. It was a 9,000-word document which covered all sectors of the economy. It is a jobs machine, Mr Speaker, something that will help to grow this economy and take us forward. Let's have a look at the various parts of that jobs machine, Mr Speaker, and then I want to relate it to how that's going to affect a regional economy like Hawke's Bay and how it's creating jobs in places like Hawke's Bay and Tauranga and Rotorua and the Waitakaris all around the country. This is a jobs machine, this plan. Firstly, let's take tax. Here, the ex-minister across the House said that there was no step change. This is a $4 billion tax package. $4 billion. There's only just over $1 billion at the last election. If this isn't a step change, I don't know what we're looking at. We're looking at actually addressing property owners for the first time, having a good chunk at a look at that part of the economy. I mean, the working group made it pretty clear. There are $213 billion invested in residential property, Mr Speaker. Only $50 billion in the New Zealand Stock Exchange. There's tax that regularly comes out of the stock exchange, but we've got $500 million in tax credits coming out of the residential investment market. So that whole property market, and I've been part of it for much of my life, is not paying the tax that is fair to the economy. So in this speech, what has happened is that the Prime Minister has said this is not fair. There needs to be a rebalancing of the economy. There needs to be a change in the incentives, a shift from that investment to actually hard-working Kiwis who are out there in jobs, getting them to work harder, lowering the middle income tax brackets, lowering the higher income tax brackets, actually making it, improving the incentives for people to get out there and work. This is a job machine, Mr Speaker. The Prime Minister went on to also talk about science and innovation, improving science and innovation, taking that forward. He talked about trade. And if there's anything that's also going to grow jobs, it's about ministers like Tim Gross and Murray McCully over the overseas, creating free trade agreements, actually improving the opportunities for New Zealand businesses to export. What does that do, Mr Speaker? It creates jobs. It creates jobs and will take this economy forward and help to reduce the unemployment levels, which none of us are happy about at the moment in this country. I mean, Minister Bennett's up there. She's not happy about where they're at, but she understands that this is a jobs growth plan to take this economy forward. And just the Prime Minister outlined housing and what we're going to do in housing, justice, law and order, in health, and in Treaty of Waitangi areas, how we're going to take the economy forward. Let's just have a look at Treaty of Waitangi options. Here is a government that is actually making settlements over and over again, exponentially improving the number of settlements in the economy. What does that do, Mr Speaker? It empowers iwi with financial resources to create jobs. It's not patronising, it's a fact. It's empowering iwi to create jobs. Now, is that a bad thing? I don't think so. He's quiet now. Empowering iwi to create jobs is a fantastic thing. You only need to look at what's happened down in Ngaitahu. with the way that empowerment of the settlement has taken them forward. And I'm going to actually change back to Hawke's Bay now in terms of what's happening there in Treaty of Waitangi settlements, which is going to happen over the next 5 years. What we've seen up there is 5 iwi, or 1 iwi Ngāti Kahununu, and 5 natural groups up there who are about to settle. We've actually got Mana Ahuriri have got to a point now where they're in a position, as a result of this, the movements of Chris Finlayson, to actually get to a settlement. They've reached a mandate. Now, I think that's a great step forward, and it's just what I'm trying to show now is how the overall plan is now been regionalised through this jobs machine. Just coming back to Hawke's Bay, there's a number of things that we've rolled out there, not only these improvements in the wider economy, but just looking at Community Max for a minute, an initiative of the Minister here. I was out with Dennis O'Reilly, who's got 12 young men and women out there at the Otatra Pa, working really hard out there. That's created jobs for our youth. I was there with Sally Dunford at the Rewe Smith Scout Hall. There was another 16 kids out there working. Now, these are getting them ready for the workforce, taking them forward. Absolutely fantastic. Another thing, look, this is where that side of the house loses the plot again, out of 88,000. The way that we're going to improve jobs in this country, Mr. Hughes, is actually doing it in quadrupling huge numbers by getting the businesses to go forward. Look, what I want to... That's the roadmap. That's the roadmap. Just coming back to the regional basis, some of the key things that we've done locally. One of the latest announcements that's happened in Hawke's Bay is the announcement of the cycleway. Fortunately today, another fantastic opportunity in Hawke's Bay. One in Rotorua, one in Tauranga, absolutely fantastic. The cycleway is going to be a huge opportunity in Hawke's Bay. They love it. Yeah. What we've got in Hawke's Bay is 3 iconic rides there. One of them has come out, and that will provide the opportunity for a number of jobs. It's a fantastic project. What we've got in Hawke's Bay is 3 rides. One down the Tuki Valley, the second one out to the Ngātara wine area, and the third one down to Otatra Pa and around the back of the Taradale area. These will create tourism opportunities, but also jobs, small businesses being created and providing employment. So once again, another jobs opportunity there. In terms of the Community Max program, which is a part of the jobs creation program, again taking young Kiwis off the dole, putting them into employment and really making a difference there. It's absolutely fantastic. But Mr. Speaker, what I just want to finish in this speech is coming back to where I started. Just the difference between both sides of the house here. On that side of the house, they think that governments and just through programs create jobs. On this side of the house, we understand that a wider plan for the economy that addresses tax, that creates incentives for businesses to go out and employ is what makes the difference. And that's what we've done. This Prime Minister has laid out a map for the economy for the year, which is going to take the country forward and is going to be a jobs machine. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.